Hello, good morning. My name is Liz Herrera. I am the Director of Career Development and Major Exploration within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and I'm accompanied by my colleague Naomi Martinez. She is our student employee, and she will talk a little bit about herself in just a second. We just first kind of want to check in and see, who's out there. Please feel free to, for right now, use the chat box to say hello, good afternoon. We just want to see, if people can actually hear us and see us before we get started with our session. We will say that for questions that you use the Q&A feature. That way we can address your questions as we're going through our session. But we just want to see, to make sure that you can hear us and just to get a hello, right, this afternoon. So feel free to use the chat box to do that, just to say hi. Awesome. Thank you, Dan. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started then. So go ahead, Naomi, if you can introduce yourself, and then we'll dive in.
Hi everyone, my name is Naomi. I am a senior here at UIC. I'm studying sociology. I am going to graduate this semester. I also work with Liz and Lauren, who's also a part of our team at the Career Development and Internships office. And I am also minoring in Spanish. So I chose sociology as my major. When I was in high school, I took a sociology class and I really enjoyed it. It was about like race and diversity, learning about different groups of people. So I was really interested in that. And so I went into UIC with my social major. I've also done an internship while I was at UIC, a part of my library. So I've done a lot of different things. So if you ever have any like questions about that, please feel free to put that in the Q&A section. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Naomi. We have a lot of resources that we would love to share with you today. I was talking to Naomi and I was saying like, oh my gosh, there's so much we can talk about and share. So please, feel free to use the Q&A box, because we want to make sure that we are addressing the types of questions that you have. Otherwise, we can just go based on some of the things that we hear and that we see in our office. So in our office, we work with a range of students coming in with different questions and things they want to talk about. So our title here is Undecided. So we do get a lot of students that join LAS and they're not sure what they want to do, what they want to major in for various reasons. So I'll name a few. So we'll have students who will say, I don't know what to major in because I don't know what I'm interested in, or I'm interested in everything and I can't choose one thing, or I'm afraid I'm going to choose the wrong major. Or I want to go to law school or medical school, and what if I choose the wrong major and I can't get into these programs? Or I want to do X, major, but my family or my friends are telling me that there are no jobs there. I'm never going to find a job, so I should be doing Y, but it's not really what I want to do. Or we'll have students who will say, what is wrong with me? My friends have life figured out. They know exactly what they want to do, and I have no idea. And so we're here to tell you that it's okay. College is about experience, exploration. I think it's really hard to come into your freshman year of college and have life figured out. I don't think that's a thing. Some people kind of know what they want to do. They have some ideas, but that's not the reality for many of us. So our office is here to support and guide you and facilitate that process of exploration. And you can't just be like, okay, I think I know what I want to do. It's through experiences, exposure, taking classes. So being undecided is not a bad thing. That does not mean that you don't know what's going on. It just means that there's an opportunity for you to explore a little bit more and learn about yourself. That is the most important part, is learning about yourself, what you enjoy, where you want to continue to build your skills and your strengths. So we provide that guidance in doing that as you're going through this journey. So we're going to talk about some online tools that we like to use in our office to help kind of facilitate that as you go. So I will start, and then Naomi, you and we can kind of go back and forth in some of the tools.
Mhm.
One of the tools that we like to use, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And because you joined this session, again, it's called Undecided, we'll lead with that. So this is our career development page. And maybe, Naomi, you can maybe put in the chat box our direct link. So if you're undecided on a major, one of the things that we always tell people that a lot of students come in not knowing what they want to major in, and some students change their mind, and that's okay. It's like you take classes and you're like, maybe mathematics is not the best fit for me, or maybe bio wasn't the best fit, and that happens too. And so we have conversations with students around this topic. Naomi, did you have a question, or is there a question?
No.
Okay. So one of the tools that we like to use is called My Next Move. So here are a variety of assessments that I'm sure that you have, maybe experienced or taken before. Now, I do want to mention that assessments are just tools to help with conversation and maybe uncover things that maybe you're not aware of. But there's no such thing as an assessment that will tell you exactly what you should major in or what career path you should go into. The only person that will know that is yourself, and it's just being curious and really staying true to what aligns with your interests and kind of what sparks joy. So these tools can help, again, facilitate that. So here we have the Onac Interest Profiler. It's like 12 minutes to take this assessment, and it's going to ask you a series of questions like if you strongly dislike it or if you like it. And so it's going to look like this. So one of the things that I will share with you is that I am an LAS alumna from UIC. So I'm a proud alumna, and I majored in Spanish. And however, I had a lot of different interests. Like education has always been something that I've been interested in, psychology, sociology. So had I been taking this assessment as an undergraduate student, taking this, like I know for sure I would probably be marking this little guy for building kitchen cabinets or laying brick or tile, because I know that's not what I like. So I don't like working with my hands. But looking at this, teaching an individual an exercise routine or helping people with personal or emotional problems, like this would probably be like within my category. So even as a very young person, I kind of knew a little bit. So once you take this assessment, it'll generate a list of careers that you can kind of dive into, explore, take a look, and see what might pique your interest. And a lot of times that's a way to have these conversations on what may be a possible major for you. So again, this is a tool that we like to use, and just wanted to share what that looked like. And there are a lot of other things that you can look at. But I'm gonna go take it back and make sure to see that if anybody has any questions. Any questions?
So based off of what Liz was talking about, the ONET, the interest profile. So when I came to UIC, I had my major, which was sociology, but I was kind of stressed out because I wasn't sure what kind of career I wanted in sociology. So that was something where I was like, what am I going to do? What should I do? How do I do it? Where do I start? So my advisor actually referenced me to come talk to Lauren and Liz, or come talk to Lauren at the Career Development and Internships office to see what I wanted to do. So I went to talk to her, and this is one of the first assessments that I actually did in order for me to like, okay, I have all these interests, and this is all the things that I really enjoy. Now let's break it down and see what kind of careers there are for me. So I really enjoyed this, and it did break me down because I did see a lot of things that I really enjoyed. I really like nonprofits, talking to people, helping people, community outreach, all of that stuff, which I didn't even realize I was doing and I liked until I started taking these assessments, seeing what was out there and the actual careers that came out of it. So if that's something that maybe, I don't know if you guys are in high school, if you're transferring, or if you're thinking about UIC, let me tell you, it's okay to not know your major right now. Like, don't stress about it. It's something that we're always changing, we're always evolving. So we're always getting different experiences, and then we always find out if this is something we like or something we don't like. So it's okay to change, and it's okay to experience. That's part of life, you know. So when we're undecided, doesn't mean that that's what is going to ruin us forever. That's going to make our college experience less, right? No, it's a time of exploring, figuring that out. I know when I was in freshman, sophomore year, I was taking electives. I took a jazz history elective. I took like an Latino and Latino studies elective. I took another art. Like, I took a lot of different things to figure out what I wanted, and then I took a Spanish class, and that's what led me to my Spanish minor. So it's about exploring, it's about figuring out what you want. And you know, we don't have to, like, it's okay to not know, right? And we have at UIC a lot of resources for you, and this office is one of the biggest ways for you to be able to get that experience, talk to somebody, and you know, have a guide for you as well.
I think that's a really good point, Naomi. Thank you. That one of the key takeaways when we are talking to students about major exploration is that your major does not equal your career. So just because you choose one major does not mean that you're destined to one career path and that's it, and you have to do it for the rest of your life or for the rest 30 years. So you know, I had mentioned like my major was in Spanish, and while it opened doors for me and you know continue my education, it was not. I didn't do anything with it. Like I was not a translator as everyone wanted me to be. That was not my path. But it still opened doors. And so one of the things that I wanted to share, a nice tool that we have. Oh, I don't know where that's coming from. There's a tool. So let's say Naomi would have came to the office, right? And she's like, okay, I decided I want to do sociology, but people are telling me that I'm not going to find jobs with that, right? I don't, you know, or I have to get a PhD. So we hear this a lot. So one of the tools that we have that you can also explore, so if you're debating like majors, or you're like, I really want to do this, but I don't know there are jobs out there. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again here. Um, so under explore majors, we have what can I do with my LAS major? And these are career snaps. So these are all the LAS majors. So you'll see the sciences, the humanities, and social sciences. So let's say, for instance, Naomi comes in. She's like, all right, Liz, I want to do sociology, but what kind of jobs can I get? So here, students love to see this. This is basically a compilation of job titles based on people. This is data that was collected nationwide, and this is based on people who went into these career paths with an undergraduate degree in sociology. However, there are some of these require additional training and education, but their starting point was a degree in sociology. So you're going to see here, if you're looking through all these different job titles, that a major in sociology can essentially lead you into a variety of career paths. It really is going to depend on what, you know, kind of what guides you, what you're interested in. So, you know, definitely education, human resources. You can go to law school with an undergraduate degree in sociology, nonprofit, public relations, so, or research, social services. So there are a ton of things that you can potentially go into in with this degree. Now, I will also say that let's say you decided you want to do criminal law and justice or psychology. There are a lot of these same similar roles, so you can end up in the same career path with different backgrounds and majors. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back and stop sharing and see if anybody has any questions. No questions. All right, we can keep going.
Yeah, please feel free if you guys have any questions, anything for we're happy to answer. I just want to go ahead and show them Road Trip Nation, and I'll put it down on here on this chat so you guys can check it out. So Road Trip Nation is a resource that Liz actually showed me, and I fell in love with it because it was just amazing. So it's let's go ahead and start your road trip map. So it combines your interests, and then it creates something that you can see the different careers and jobs and the majors that people have. So right here, Liz, if you wanted to demo this with us. So what interests you the most?
Yeah, education.
So we're gonna go with education, and then you're gonna combine another interest.
I will say, let me go with medicine.
Nice. Okay, so then what's something that lights up up at your core? Be helping people, community, working with others, teaching,
I would say helping people.
helping people. Okay. So based on all the interests that you've chosen, there's going to be some careers that are related to your interests. So right here we can see the tab where it says educational, registered nurses, dentists, personal care aides. And then we go into the next tab, it's leaders. We can see the people that have the actual careers and their job titles based on the interests that you've chosen, as well as the majors they have taken. So we have nursing, clinical nurse, public health, occupational health. So we go into leaders and choose, let's say, uh, Loretta Rojo, who is acute care nurse, what she does, how she got to where she is, the education she has, and just a little bit more about the skills and qualities, also what her day looks like. So I really recommend to, explore, see what's out there. And maybe you're stuck and you're like, oh, I like two things, but I can't decide. This is a great way to see combine the combinations of your interests and really see what kind of careers can come out of it as well. So we put all these resources for you. So hopefully you can take this with you and check it out.
I really like this tool. Thank you for walking us through it, Naomi. Because for a variety of reasons. So one, it does show that you can have different interests. It's not that there's anything wrong with you or you're like, I need to choose something. A lot of people pave a career path with multiple interests, and it's just fascinating to see how someone's love for art and maybe biology, how that kind of kind of how they marry each other. So there's like biomedical visualization, right? So we need people that can provide the um, the visuals for human anatomy. Or there's people that they love again the arts but they want to go into health. So right now with the pandemic, we're seeing a lot of these visuals about how to washing your hands and how to be safe. So people are creating these infographics or these campaigns. So there's a lot of intersection between the two interests. And these are just a few examples. And so with Road Trip Nation, you get to see, based on your combined interests, what other people have done in pursuing those paths. One of the things that we do in our office is we do offer a variety of career panels where students have the opportunity to connect with professionals across across industries. And it's a great way for you to talk to professionals, ask questions. You really get an insight, beyond what you're looking online, and really they can take you to day to day. Like, this is how I got here. This is what I do. This is what you can do now to prepare for a career such as this one. So I know we get a lot of students that are interested in the health field. And one of our popular programs that we do in the fall is called the Health Professions Forum. And during this event, this year, of course, it's going to be virtual. We're doing 4 sessions where we're inviting people that are in the healthcare field that are non-clinical, because there are a lot of careers in health that are not necessarily, nursing or physician, but there are a lot of people making impact in different ways. So people that are in healthcare technology, healthcare research, people in government, education settings, CPS, community colleges, people that are in consulting, at business administration. So there is a health space and a variety of industries, and that is a good fit for a lot of people. So just for us, it's important for students to know what exists, what's out there, because I think for many of us, we come out of high school, we have just limited ideas of what career paths can look like. But once you interact with all these professionals, you're like, how did you get into that job? How did you even know that it was something you could do? And so it's fascinating. I think one thing, definitely talking to people. And if you're shy, you can come to one of our panels and you can listen and observe. So we try to create these spaces so students can really explore and see what's really out there. And you want to start early. Definitely start early. Take advantage of the resources that are available to you. If you decide to join UIC, because there's a ton of support and things. If you're interested in research, our students, there's an undergraduate research program where you can work with faculty and work on research opportunities. We have faculty working on some extraordinary projects, and being able to do that and put that on your resume, I mean, that can open doors to graduate school, to different careers. It's fascinating, really. All right, I'm talking a lot. Naomi, anything else?
I just wanted to mention one thing that I did learn coming into the office was informational interviews. So like talking to people, even like around you, could be like if you have a part-time job, talking to coworkers, coming in and just asking like, how did you get here? Like, what are you doing now? Like, what do you want to do? And that was one of the ways that like I was like, oh, okay, this is not an option. Like, this is something I don't want. Or maybe that's a potential. So when I was at working at a library, I would ask my coworkers, like, how did you get your master's? Like, what was the steps that you took to get here? And they would always be like, well, I was going to do theater first, or I was going to do this first. But then life happened, I got a job here, and then I started library school. So just different ways to get connected, explore, and see what everybody's like career paths out, and they're all like different, and that's the coolest part. You don't have to mimic a certain way and be like that. The best thing is creating your own path, and just figuring it out based on what you want to do.
That's great. That's great advice, Naomi. The other thing too, and I know we didn't really talk a lot about this, and one of our first sessions, people had a lot of questions around internships. And so in our office, and I know we mentioned Lauren. Lauren wasn't able to join us today, but Lauren Gallagher is our assistant director of career development and internships, and she does a lot of training around how to search for an internship, how to prepare for an internship, how to maximize the internship. She also teaches a course. I know Naomi was one of her students, called LAS 289. And if you have secured an internship and you want to receive academic credit, you can do that through this course. And so, kind of thinking about exploring internship opportunities, there are a lot of ways to go about doing that. On our website, we do have links to, Indeed, Idealist, NPO.net. At UIC, as a UIC student, you'll have access to our platform called Handshake. And this is a program where different employers are posting internship, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, on-campus jobs, where students can, apply, create a profile and really see what's out there. And so if you're not sure how to start doing that, like your resume, putting your application materials together, those are the types of things that our office supports. If people are afraid and they're like, okay, I don't even know how to get started. In the other session, we had a student that asked, like, do you need experience to actually get an internship? It really depends on the internship. Some places do want someone maybe with a year of experience, like maybe they want someone that's a sophomore or that they're majoring in something. So there are requirements, but there are internships that are very entry level, because that's the purpose of an internship. Is this is a place where you learn, you work on projects, and you get mentoring from people in the field. You get these connections. And I guess I'm going to put Naomi on the spot, because I know Naomi had an internship. Naomi, how did you get your internship?
Yeah, so I was working part-time at a library for the front desk, and Lauren had mentioned to me that she was teaching an LAS 29 course, which was the internship course. So I was looking for internships, but I wasn't really sure. But I went to my supervisor at my job and I had told him about the idea of maybe an internship, and he was all for it. And so it was based on like what I was interested in, what I wanted to explore more in this internship. And based on off of that, we both created this Spanish outreach, where I was able to do a questionnaire, go out to the community, talk to the people, as well as a library tour, video that I created as well, translation brochures, just a variety of things that I got experience in, as well as different skills that I was able to obtain, and just getting my feet wet into this internship experience. And I was able to create it out of the job that I had. But it's the matter of like talking, asking questions. So you never know where you can get an internship in. Maybe you could do the same thing if you come to UIC and you have a job and you want to do something else related. So I definitely encourage that. And I had a great time. I also got college credit from it. So LAS offers, the LAS 29 offers credit hours. So I was able to get some credit. So it's definitely a great way to get some experience, but also put that on your resume. I always tell all of the students that I was able to put in my resume. I was able to also promote myself. When I was looking for a different job, I got a higher paid position just based on that I did an internship at the library, and I was able to say everything that I've done and created. So internships are not in vain. They will help you. Maybe if you're something that you're interested in, you want to learn more about, and you do an internship and you're like, okay, well, that's not what I want to do. Well, now you know, right? So then you can explore and go off to do something else. So I definitely recommend. And then I put some links on here as well. I did internships.com, but you can also look through our website, where we have a tab exploring internships, as Liz mentioned, and just explore and see what's out there. Chicago has so many internships, and they're always popping up more and more. So if UIC is a place that you really want to come to, you can definitely do an internship and then get the college credit as well.
That's right. All right, so we're getting down to the end of our session, and we just want to see if anybody has any questions. Hopefully this was helpful and you got some information that you found valuable and that you can further look into. And we have a lot of these types of workshops with students and actually walking them through the resources and just guiding them through this process. We do a lot of programming. If you go on our website and you look under our events page, you will see the types of things that we have to offer. So I guess I can just quickly just show you in case anybody has any questions as we're concluding our session. We also have some recordings that you may have access to. So some of them, they're limited to UIC students, but we do have some recorded webinars with some of the career panels that I had referenced earlier. But here, finding your fit, career nature exploration, career discovery. This is more of a deeper dive into the exploration process, making the most of your internship search, building your LinkedIn profile. We've been doing a Tuesdays at 2 Instagram Live to answer questions, resume pop-ups, and then this is the Health Professions Forum. And then a Minute Majors series where students get to talk to other students about how they determine their major and then some of their internship stories and experiences. So we have a lot to offer, and we are always excited to talk to students and provide any assistance as they're kind of trying to navigate this career landscape. But it doesn't look like anybody has any questions. And, we just want you to, have a great day, and hopefully we see you at UIC in the near future. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Naomi.